A long, long time ago, in a remote little village, there was a child named Xiao Han. His family was very poor, struggling to make ends meet. His parents decided to send him to a boarding school. The next day, they bid farewell. Everyone in the family was reluctant, but they knew it was for the best. Xiao Han held back his tears and said a tearful goodbye to his family. As he set off in his uncle's carriage, it felt like a permanent farewell. His little sister chased after the carriage, trying to bid farewell to her brother. She eventually fell to the ground, and Xiao Han said goodbye one last time, as he left his loved ones behind. There were other students on the carriage heading to school. With the jolting of the carriage, they gradually got to know each other. Countless days and nights passed by, and new students joined along the way. One of the newcomers was rather domineering, pushing others aside to claim the best spots. Because of his background, everyone had to swallow their pride. Those who resisted were quickly subdued. Amidst this seemingly harmonious atmosphere, they finally arrived at the school, the Seven Profound Sect. As soon as they got off the carriage, they assembled, preparing for the entrance examination. Elder Ma announced the rules of the exam. All they had to do was reach Bone Refining Cliff within the allotted time. At his command, they all rushed forward, competing to reach the cliff first. At this moment, Xiao Han teamed up with his friend Xiao He, while others began to climb the cliff. Xiao Han looked at it with trembling legs. But without a second thought, he started climbing. Climbing halfway up, some anxious students started a makeshift swing competition, almost sending Xiao Han and his friend Xiao He plummeting. Fortunately, Xiao Han held on, continuing his ascent. This was a dangerous game. Occasionally, someone would lose their strength and fall. Finally, Xiao Han reached the mountaintop. But this wasn't the end. Bone Refining Cliff was above. Xiao Han felt helpless, unsure of how to proceed. After a thorough examination of his surroundings, Xiao Han came up with a plan. He decided to climb the cliff in a daring manner, using friction to ascend, sliding up and down. All the students marveled and applauded. As he wore out the soles of his shoes, they finally reached the mountaintop, and crawled across an iron chain, struggling to progress. The elders on the mountain looked on with respect. At last, Xiao Han and Xiao He reached the top of Bone Refining Cliff. Unfortunately, they were late and didn't pass the assessment. In the midst of this, an elder specializing in medicine arrived. He wanted to take on 2 apprentices, so he chose Xiao Han and Xiao He. They were both excited and scared as they followed the elder. From then on, they secretly grew in the Medicine Valley.